Hey, it's David. Welcome or welcome back to CrossFit Fitness, helping men and women get in the best spiritual shape of their lives one workout at a time. Quick thought in this video that I'm calling God is moved by motion. God is moved by motion. What do I mean by that? Well, I just noticed a trend in the scriptures, particularly in the NT, the New Testament. I'm thinking of when Jesus was doing his ministry and he, the woman with the issue of blood for 12 years, she just said, if I could just touch the hem of his garment, she would be healed. And, God responded to that. In fact, I think that's the only woman he called daughter. He rewarded her not only with healing, but affirmation and validation in a culture that by and large rejected her. The second thing I noticed was the lepers. Remember the 10 lepers? He said, go show yourself to the priests. So they did. And in the motion, in the movement of the motion, a miracle came. Another guy, take up your mat and walk, as he was obedient to do what the Lord had said. He was healed. The paralytic was healed. Another guy, he's blind. This one hits close to home for me as a visually impaired person. Jesus spat, made mud, and said, now go wash in the pool of Siloam, I believe it was. And sure enough, as he was obedient to be obedient to the movement that God had told him to do, he was healed. It seems that God is moved by motion. Remember back in the day when we didn't have power steering on cars, you just had to if the car was like not in motion, and you tried to turn that steering wheel without power steering, man, you could do it, but you had to muscle it. But as you begin to move, it became easier. You could do it with one hand, even without automatic transmission. Well, God seems to be moved by motion. It seems to garner the attention of God. My pastor, Ron Karadov, has taught our congregation that God is not moved by need. He's moved by faith. Isn't that an interesting comment? Think about that. God's not moved by need. He's moved by faith. There's a lot of people that they're starving. They don't have a roof over their head. They're going to sleep on the ground around the world. Lots of needs. But Jesus is looking for faith on the earth. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. It's the conduit and avenue by which we receive things from God. So, anyway, just a thought. God is moved by motion. Why don't you take that into your workday and think about that? What can you do proactively with intention to move the needle forward, to activate the hand and the heart of God for you in your unique situation? The ball is probably in our court. Well, I hope that encourages you a little bit. For now, I'm David, your virtual mentor, reminding you that I'm always for you. I am never against you. God bless you so much.